Let's talk about the 2026 free agents we got coming up, Steve.
I really do, in my heart, hope that Kelce gives it another go.
Charles Omenihu edge, I think we can both safely say he's got to go.
Later. Yes.
I'll have Kareem Hunt. I think there's value for Kareem Hunt on short yardage situations.
A lot of it.
Brian Cook, Steve. This is a polarizing one. A lot of people don't like Brian Cook.
I'm going to say I would take Brian Cook back at this juncture.
Let's talk about the 2026 free agents we got coming up, Steve. Let's go down the list and let's, as a group, decide who we will keep going into the 2026 season and who do we want to get rid of. So I'm going to start at the top of the list right here. Travis Kelce. Now, I don't think we can make a decision on him. He makes his own decision.
Correct.
If Kelce wants to come back, you're bringing him back for a good price, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I really do, in my heart, hope that Kelce gives it another go. And I know a lot of people are not going to like that, but I do think Kelce, he was still one of the top tight ends in the league this year. I think the offense altogether was disheveled. I won't put a lot of that on him. I think the coaches carry the most of that weight. If Kelce wants to go out a better fashion than what he's going to go out if he retires this year, I totally understand it, and I would love for that to happen. I don't want his last passes to be coming from Gardner Minshew, Chris Oladokun, and these types. I would like to see Travis Kelce go out, with a little bit of just respect from everybody as opposed to beat down and everyone making fun of the Chiefs right now. And I'd like to see him take his last pass from Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely. I think Kelce is the exception. And even if he does it, he don't have to come back and play 100% of the snaps. You can bring him back, let him help develop your next in line tight end. And again, I don't know if that's going to be Noah Gray or not. We'll get to that in a minute. Marquise Hollywood Brown, he made $7 million this year, Steve, for the Chiefs. I think he's going to be 29 and a half years old going into the next season, or 29 pretty much. I think it's probably done with Hollywood. What do you think?
Yeah, they haven't really utilized them the way that you thought they were going to, which I think they had every intention of using Hollywood Brown quite a bit. If you go back to a couple of seasons ago, when they first acquired him throughout training camp and everything, they heavily ran the offense through Hollywood Brown. But then he got that injury on the very first play he ever played for the Chiefs in the preseason. And that kind of changed course. He was out for most of that year. He come back late in that playoff run there. And I just don't think he ever got to where they want him to be. And they'd already changed course at that point. They started really hitting up Xavier Worthy and a lot of these other guys. So I think Hollywood Brown could probably move on here. If he were to come back for dirt cheap, I wouldn't be mad at it. I do think he's a better receiver than what we've been able to get out of him, because we have seen flashes to where I feel like he fits in our offense pretty decent. Patrick's hit him on a couple of long balls. He gets open quite a bit, and he's made some great catches. So I wouldn't be mad at it, but I don't think they'll do it. I think that he's going to want enough money to where he can move on. Yeah,
absolutely. He showed flashes in this offense, but as we've talked about time and time again, we want to spread the ball around too much, and I think Marquise Brown is a volume type guy. That's the only way you're getting your production out of him. Let's move on. Charles Omenihu edge, I think we can both safely say he's got to go.
Later.
Peace out. Jack Cochran. I'm not signing back Jack Cochran.
Bye,
now,
Jack Cochran.
Could Jack Cochran come back? Absolutely. Spags has a hard on for him, just like Jamari Connor. He thinks he's good. He's a special teamer. So, yes, Jack Cochran could be back. Look, they're probably not going to cut a lot of these guys that are just special teams guys, because you have to field the roster. But at the same time, I think you can go find rookies or, you've got players on the practice squad that's just as good as Jack Cochran.
Yeah, we're looking at one that got 5 snaps the other day, Cooper McDonald. I think that he shows a lot of promise.
Absolutely.
Jack Cochran, I think that the best thing that he's done for the Chiefs organization was be Travis Kelce's punching bag during camp a couple years ago. That was entertaining, right?
You also got Brandon George, and I like Brandon George out of Pitt. I thought he was a good athlete. Let's move down the list. Najee Johnson,
Bye.
Hell no.
See ya.
Peace. Jerry Tillery, look, he had a few flashes this year, but it was nothing that I want to bring back. I think you could get somebody in the draft. Even Zach Pickens, we seen a few snaps from him the other day. I think he does just as much as Jerry Tillery. Yeah. It's wasted money. James Winchester, long snapper, look, he's going to be almost 37. Does he want to come back? If he wants to play, sure. Kareem Hunt, if he wants to come back, sure.
Yes.
I'll have Kareem Hunt. I think there's value for Kareem Hunt on short yardage situations.
A lot of it.
Brian Cook, Steve. This is a polarizing one. A lot of people don't like Brian Cook. We thought he had a decent season this year. There are times where he gets a little lost, though, right?
I'm going to say I would take Brian Cook back at this juncture. I think that he played well enough this year to earn something small. I wouldn't give him no
To
big
get a second contract, huh?
I would at least give him a little tester, a little filler, right? Maybe a little 3-year deal or something like that, that you can get out of after 2 years if you want to. Something I'm not for sure, but I do like Brian Cook. I think that he didn't really hit the mark that they expected him to early,
Right.
but he did learn behind Justin Reed, so I think he learned quite a bit. And then he dealt with some injury issues. He had that broken ankle that we saw in that Dolphins game a couple of years ago. It took him a while to get over that and then to bounce back from that. And I think once he got his feet under him, he looked pretty solid this season. I think he had a lot of games where Brian Cook stood out to me on that defense there, and I think I would take him back on something like that.
He's making about $1.5 million this year on his final season of his rookie deal. I don't know what he would demand to come back for 3 years. I wouldn't want to pay him much more than what he's already making, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to try to get more than that. How much would you go up per year? Would you go $3, $4, $5 million on him per year?
I have
no idea.
No idea what the safety market is. I wouldn't even have a good guess here, man. I'm just saying if it's something feasible, if it's something that doesn't break the bank, if it doesn't keep you from signing players that you absolutely have to have, I would definitely keep Brian Cook around.
Right. So he would be one of the few on the short list here with Kareem Hunt. Derek Nottie, adios, buddy. Shouldn't have been here this year.
I thought we already did this once, bro.
Right. Juju offers a decent amount, but they just don't use him properly. He's a good leader in the locker room. I think we learned that this year that Andy Reid them really valued his leadership in the locker room.
If he's only going to make up $1.4 million, then sure.
It's possible.
I mean, he's still just 30 years old. He's got a ton of experience, and I thought Juju played pretty well this year at times. We know that he blocks well. He does all the dirty work, and he'll get in there and have fun doing it. Juju's a vital piece, I think, for a young wide receiver room. Somebody to look up to, somebody who's been there, done that, has some good advice for the guys, can show them some techniques and show them how to really do the things when they are not just getting the ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think Juju is good for the locker room, too, like you said. And I think if you can get him for this cheap, if he could do another 1 year or something like that, I don't know if I would be against that.
Absolutely. But I think the longer Juju stays on this team, you're hindering guys like Jalen Royals and giving Andy Reid a reason not to do it. I kind of agree with that, too. I agree with that, too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. And if the Chiefs go draft one this year, which they should probably try to draft a wide receiver this year, I don't want to get back to where we have to take 7, 8 wide receivers on a roster. Yeah, no, it's getting ridiculous.
It is. I think those days are over, man. Let's move on to Leo Chanel. To me, Mike, this is a must sign.
Dude, he is an absolutely must sign. Leo Chanel is a dog.
A dog, bro.
If we don't bring back Leo Chanel, Brett Veach, put in your walking papers, because if I were Clark Hunt, I'd go down there and fire him myself if you can't get this guy back on the roster.
Mike, I absolutely think it's been egregious that they've underutilized Leo Chanel in the years that we've had him. I think Leo could have played a lot more. He could even play a different position. Leo could do a lot of things, man. He's a great football player, and I think he's one of the best football players that we've drafted in a long time. He's just well-rounded. He's an athlete. He's hard-nosed, and just that's the best way to describe Leo. Like, he is a football player, and he's damn good, and he can do whatever you want him to do. And
I can describe him. Violence, physicality. He wants to hit somebody. And that's what I like about Leo. He's an old school football player, Steve.
And I think Leo has still yet to hit his ceiling. I really truly believe that. So
Leo would be great as a middle linebacker here. And honestly, I don't think they should have re-signed back Nick Bolton. As much as I love him, I think Leo should have made the transition, and that's the way it should have been.
Yeah, Leo's a must sign.
Absolutely, Leo. We got a few more. Let's go through these really quickly. Tanyan, Bush, I think they're gone. Minshew did escape an ACL injury. If it's not an ACL and it doesn't hurt him for a long time, do you bring him back as the backup next year if he'll come back?
If he was able to get back on the football field and at least play 2 of these last couple of games or whatever, like I want to see.
He's probably not going to be back out.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will, but I would like to be able to see. We've not got to see what he can do, honestly.
Right.
We saw him dinking and dunking a little bit after his knee was hurt, but I mean, Gardner, like we've talked about before, he had some hella good years with the Jaguars. He played respectable in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
The dumpster fire that is the Las Vegas Raiders, I won't hold anything against him that happened in Las Vegas, but I think Gardner is a good fit for a backup QB for the Chiefs. He's a gunslinging type guy. He's not afraid to do what he needs to do, and I think he fits in well. Good for the locker room. Him and Mahomes, he seems to have a lot of respect for Mahomes, and I think he also has a lot of good advice for Mahomes, being a veteran in the league. And I think it's a good fit. I just wish we could have got to see a little bit more in these last few games to see if we're going to be comfortable, just in case Patrick can't come back at the beginning of the season. Like, is Gardner going to be able to run this offense for, say, 4 weeks and us win 3 games or at least 2?
Look, I brought this up in the live stream yesterday. Minshew kind of struggled a little bit in his first healthy series, which he got injured on the 3rd play. But it felt like Oladoke had done a little bit better. And because he's more mobile and the plays are just stale and they break down, Minshew's more of a pocket kind of guy. I don't think he's much of a leg, get out and create kind of guy. And that, for me, that scares me a little bit in this offense, because if they do not change it up, I don't know if a pocket passer works in this offense. I think he's going to end up getting himself hurt again.
Well, I'll go with what Jeffrey Simmons said, the defensive tackle for the Titans.
He said, who the hell's Chris Oladoke?
Exactly. The reason why Chris Oladoke did okay is because he was mobile. He could get out of the pocket. He could make a couple things happen. But the big thing is they had no idea who he was. They've never seen tape on him. They didn't know what to expect. But if someone knows what to expect with Oladoke, you're in trouble.
The next great touchdown is coming, and now you can bet on it. We've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook because it has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season. DraftKings has industry-leading live betting market availability with dynamic odds that move with the game and more open live betting markets more often. Experience the game as a fan even further by getting in on the action now and using our promo code ACU when signing up. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Right. Let's move on. Tyquan Thornton. A lot of people love Tyquan Thornton. Steve, I think he had about as hot of a start as you were going to get. Camp carried it all the way into week 6, 7 to Rashee Rice come back. Chiefs just completely went away from him. I think that was just one of the most ginormous coaching blunders we've seen this year, was the underutilized talent of Tyquan Thornton, what he was able to do. $1.1 million. He's probably going to get a bigger contract offer from somewhere else. Do you bring him back? I think I would if he would come back for that price. I think I would take him back over Juju. What would you do?
Absolutely keep Tyquan Thornton. I mean, the kid's only 25 years old. He's been in the league for, I think, 3-4 years now. This kid can play. Like, we saw that earlier this year. But my recommendation would be, if you are going to retain him, if you're going to keep him here, use him.
Figure out a way to get him in there, man.
Dude, there are ways to get him in there. They should have been utilizing him so much more this season. Dude, they could literally line him up like they used to do MVS, and he would be killer. And the fact that Tyquan Thornton has been the one deep threat that has bailed us out even in a couple of games this year.
Absolutely.
I would love to keep that around because, I mean, if you're thinking about it, you got Rashee Rice, you got Xavier Worthy, but if Juju leaves, you got to start looking at some of these younger guys. And I think Tyquan Thornton was great.
I would much rather spend $3.5 million on Tyquan Thornton than $7 to $7.5 million on Hollywood again.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't feel like that's worth it. Janarius Robinson, we didn't even get to see him. He went on IR. He did have a sack in the preseason, but I mean, come on. I don't think he was going to be a needle mover. I'd probably move on there.
Right.
Josh Williams, I always liked Josh Williams. I always thought he played well, but he can't get out of the Spags doghouse. I'm not wasting any money on him, and I'm not going to waste his time at this point.
Correct.
We got some restricted free agents. Why the hell's Keontae Ingram still on this freaking roster?
I don't know. That's ridiculous.
Bro, it's stupid. He should be gone. Mike Caliendo, adios. Look, Andy's probably going to love him, but I think we could go younger.
I mean, even for a depth piece at this point, I just don't think it's great to keep Mike Caliendo around.
Eric Scott, we picked up from the Cowboys a few years ago. He's yet to even get anywhere. He's out. Ariza, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. He's corrected some of his flaws this year. Good. He's got a little more touch. Nico, you bringing Nico back?
No.
I don't think I will either. That leaves Jaylen Watson and Pacheco. We're not bringing back Pacheco. We already know that. Or you bring back Jaylen Watson, and if you are, does that mean you're going to trade bait Trent McDuffie?
I think it kind of goes hand in hand at this point. I don't think you can afford to pay both of them a contract in the next couple of years, right? So Jaylen Watson, I think there are going to be some teams after him. Like I've said this 1,000 times, I think the Baltimore Ravens would pay him a lot of money. I think there's a couple of other teams out there that would do the same. The Chiefs are going to have to pay a little bit for him. And the way I see it, I like Jaylen Watson, but there's also several games where we had to watch him get cooked a lot too. So a little inconsistency there. But I think
He's battled a lot of injuries too.
he has. And Jalen Watson was a 7th round draft pick, guys. He was not supposed to do what he was supposed to do. We've got more than our value out of this kid. So if he were to walk, if we were to let him go, I'm not going to be hurt about that because we got more than we bargained for with Jalen Watson, right? It'd be cool to bring him back. It'd be cool to be able to get him and McDuffie back. It'd be cool if they actually decided to play Noah Williams and Jalen Watson on the edges and use McDuffie in the slot and actually have a killer DB room. But I just don't see them doing it. If they keep on with what they're doing and what Spags has been doing, then at this point, bro, I don't even know if I care. Maybe just let Jalen Watson walk and trade Trent McDuffie. I don't even know.
Jalen Watson is the free agent to watch this offseason because I think if the Chiefs sign him or match an offer, they're looking to get rid of McDuffie. I think if the Chiefs do not match an offer and let him walk, then they're looking to maybe pay Trent McDuffie.
It could be very telling.
That was a pretty good exercise to go through those 2026 free agents. We didn't keep very many. I think the ones we kept, I think a lot of people agree. So get down in the comments. Let us know if there's anybody we cut that you would take or anybody that we took that you would like to get rid of.
You guys get down in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see as far as the free agents and as far as the coaching staff. Who would you keep? Who would you get rid of? We like to see what you guys have to say about it. And we'll catch you next time, Chiefs Kingdom. Go Chiefs.